Hello guys, my name is Anna and I'm a Ukrainian, and I have decided I will vlog daily from my country Ukraine since the start of this awful war with Russia. And in my daily videos I try to update you on the important real-life situations in my country Ukraine, and of course I'm always glad to answer your questions and to clarify some facts about our history, our culture, our background, or whatever interests you. Maybe I have watched too many of Madonna's videos for the background that I have right now, but actually I wanted to film it in one location and it was busy with some guys talking and quarreling, so I switched to another one and it looks pretty grunge, if you can say it that way. But also I have a very pretty dog sitting next to me. Maybe later at the end of this video I will film his fur for you. But today I want to speak about a very unpleasant topic, that is Amnesty International and their report. I received many questions and comments and I feel like I have to react. And my vision is very similar to the one of our Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kuleba, who, as many other influential politicians and opinion leaders, quickly reacted to this report. And most importantly, this is not the first time when Amnesty International does the country to what it has to do. Actually, I do believe that many international, like conflict, a serious conflict or a serious critical situation, better to say, always demonstrates strengths and weaknesses, both of people, decision makers, politicians, and also international organizations. And I believe that war in Ukraine has demonstrated that many of huge international organizations like the United Nations or the Red Cross are actually not working at all. Millions or billions of money are spent. Millions of people have their positions and work there, but as a result we receive nothing. With the United Nations we had like tons of messages about how concerned they are, but no real reactions. And what's the sense of such organizations? Red Cross is a serious problem because they want to be neutral with terrorists, and they also helped Russians organize humanitarian corridors to Russia from Ukraine, which were actually not humanitarian corridors but deportation corridors, because these people were deported against their will, and Red Cross wanted to be neutral, saying like both sides of the conflict. It's not the both sides of the conflict. It's Russia who came to kill Ukrainians in Ukraine. And it was, oh, the dog is leaving. The dog is leaving. This was him. Hey. Say hello to my subscribers. Okay. No. Goodbye, dog. Perhaps this dog is not much into politics. So, I'm sorry for the distraction, but Red Cross, also the head of the Red Cross, decided to visit Russia before visiting Ukraine. And I want to stress, I do understand that sometimes we have to listen to two sides, but it is not in case with Ukraine and Russia, because Ukraine was invaded by Russia without no reasons. It was not a mutual conflict that was observed for years, but it was Russia's desire to destroy Ukraine as an independent country, to deny Ukrainian identity and to kill Ukrainian children, to destroy Ukrainian infrastructure, and then make it part of Russia, what is left. So we are not speaking about any things that can be explained or negotiated. So it is a definitely very ugly move of the head of Red Cross was to visit Russia and to negotiate with them before visiting Ukraine. And now Amnesty International, OSCE is another organization that typically likes to be neutral. I don't think organizations, when they observe the war, have to be neutral because, like, when you observe the results of 9/11 terror, can you be neutral? Was there anyone trying to find the reasons? No, because it is act it is a totally unbelievable crime against humanity. No need to find out what happened. We do not speak about bad childhood of Hitler, you know. So with Amnesty International, it looks pretty similar when they don't analyze why Russian soldiers are in Ukraine, what Russian soldiers are doing in Ukraine. They're trying to find mistakes in the work of the Ukrainian armed forces, who are actually working on the territory of Ukraine, trying to protect Ukraine against Russian orcs. Daily, dozens of Ukrainian civilians die in civilian places like schools, hospitals, supermarkets, trade centers, bus stops. And Amnesty International does not speak about that. And definitely there are lots of military and political and economical observers who always speak about the dignity of Ukrainian armed forces, who are kind even with orcs, not only with Ukrainian civilians, with Ukrainian soldiers, but even with orcs. And if you look at the conditions, how prisoners of war are kept, how they treated, how our medical services try to reach them when the Russian medical services abandon them and leave them to rot in the fields of Ukraine, Ukrainians still try to cure them and then to exchange them for Ukrainians, acting according to Geneva Convention and other things. So what bothers me a lot is that you won't find much information about the crimes of Russia in Ukraine, about the execution of POWs in Olenivka, about the destruction of the trade centers and other things, but trying like to equate a victim with the aggressor is a very great mistake. And I don't touch the subject of Pope Francis, but when he was trying to demonstrate that during Easter with the cross, we had really huge reaction here, because to be able to forgive, Russia first has to stop, then it has to speak about its crimes committed against Ukraine, then we have to take time to rethink, to forget, and only then we can discuss and carry the cross together. But right now, this is the devil in Ukraine that cannot be equated to Ukrainian victims, Ukrainian children, Ukrainian mothers, Ukrainian soldiers, and all of that. So this is definitely very, very ill to equate a victim with an aggressor. Think of a situation, I don't know, maybe because I'm a teacher inside, there are always illustrations that I like. So think about an illustration that a murderer and a rapist, for example, comes into your house, and he tends to destroy your house, to rape and kill you later, kill you in an exquisite manner or something like that. But on his way to you, he slips on a floor because you washed it or something, and then we have to say, but after that he kills you. But we have to say that you were also bad, because even though you didn't know the killer will come, you washed the floor, you did not let the floor dry, and he slipped on that floor, and maybe he has a bruise on his back or something. It is also bad of you. So this is something very similar what is going on here when we discuss the problems that like, I'm sorry, we do kill Russians, but only after they cross our border with machine guns, only after they rape and kill. We did not cross the border into Russia. So I believe that is the best way to stop this war, is to cross the border into Russia, to let Russians feel, not civilians, let their soldiers feel. Let civilians just listen to air raid alarms. That will be enough. And all the sounds of war, and all the news of war, and all the nerves of war. So I am totally against like this report, and I'm really glad that even the Times today posted a very good analysis of how Amnesty International has been working for Russia for a pretty long period of time. And most importantly, there are lots of illustrations not only connected with Ukraine, so you won't think that I was like subjective because I'm a Ukrainian, but there are examples even inside Russia. When Navalny was arrested, they did not want to call him a prisoner of dignity. I don't know if that's the correct term, but anyway, they supported Putin's regime, and in many other military conflicts they supported the Russian side. So I do believe it is time to speak honestly that many of these international organizations are not working according to their statutes, that many of these international organizations are too weak, taking into account their budgets and their missions, and many of them are corrupt by Russia, and most importantly, the Ukrainian office of Amnesty International was not included in this report. So anyway, this is my opinion, and happily the world saw that Russian propaganda TV channels started using this report, and it becomes more and more obvious that it was not like a clear, normal report. But still, it is discussed, and when you have so many of your countrymen dying daily, and someone still thinking that maybe Ukraine and Russia could be equated in this situation and negotiated similarly, it feels really bad and really ugly. So thank you for those of you who understand that Ukraine is a victim, but a very strong victim that will win this war, because we need to stop Putin, we need to stop Russia, we need to stop the Third World War. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your subscriptions. They mean a lot, and the larger my channel will be, the more people will be able to get the updates on the situation of in Ukraine, and that's really important, I believe. Thank you for buying me coffees, for becoming my patrons. It's a little bit windy. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.